Oh, we gotta get lights up here, guys.
I'm gonna fall and break my fucking neck on camera, and you're gonna leave it in. Well, Video Nasties were like a list of like movies in the UK.
Oh, Rated X or whatever.
Rated X / banned. The phrase for them was Video Nasties, which is a funny thing to say.
I want... Oh.
Imagine a nasty video. Imagine, Ethan, a nasty video. Tight fit.
Happy Halloween.
I hate this.
Funky Kong suck something in the dark near you, ASMR.
Mm-hmm. ASMR.
Don't look at me, dog.
Hey,
don't look at me, Funky.
This episode is already a fucking train wreck.
ASMR Funky Kong drops out of college.
Coffee and bubble gum.
Coffee and bubble
that
gum.
sounds like a solid flavor combination.
Did they make
wasn't that Ethan's cup of coffee?
Sure was.
Yeah.
Once upon a time.
You're wiping the sides of the candy wrapper.
Well, I'm like, I want to get the little drippy off of it.
Wipe your face with a copy of Naruto Volume 4.
No!
Is there bubblegum flavored coffee?
I turned back. I thought you were just taking your shirt off.
No.
Dude, you're
Alright, time to make a movie.
Shut up, I'm doing the intro.
Wow.
Hey everyone.
I'm scared already of how I've just been fucking emotionally betrayed, but okay,
Yeah.
we can go ahead.
We have.
When were you emotionally betrayed?
I was just told to shut up.
Oh.
By someone who I thought was a dear friend. Oh, fuck, the refrigerator.
Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus. I have to, like, be careful of my arm.
You can open the freezer from here.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know.
Like if you want to get a little
Or
snack.
electrocute myself.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Backlog Media. Is this Backlog?
This is Backlog Media.
Yeah, oh, of course, this is Backlog Media. Is this an official numbered episode? Is this episode 5, or is this our Halloween special?
This is a numbered
This
one.
is
and a
episode
Halloween
666, so
Okay, yeah.
wait.
So, episode
You have to wait
5
on this.
gone, episode 666.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Well, that'll get us, like, if we skip episode 5, because we have episode 0 as our first
Yeah,
episode.
yeah,
So if
technically
we skip
this is
episode 5
6.
and make this episode 666, then, like...
This is
And
going to be like the Ava rebuilds with all these crazy numbers
Yeah.
and the
I
titles.
think it'll get us back
Worked
on
out for
track
Ava.
so we don't have to be any more like, it's episode 4, but it's actually our 5th
It's
episode.
the 5th one.
I think we dropped that, though, after episode 2. Because when we did the first one, I was like, we did a test episode 2 if you want to watch
You
the
should
other
rename
one.
that shit. Hey, my name's RJ, and we're going to talk about some movies tonight.
I'm RJ, and I have nothing else to add.
I'm RJ. Been a bit since we made an episode, but here we are, back safe and sound.
I'm RJ. That's all.
I'm RJ, and I'm excited to talk about some movies with all my pals. I'm feeling real good today. I'm really happy.
I'm RJ, and happy Halloween.
Hey.
So,
Ooh.
is it safe to say that, like, all of us are, like, into Halloween?
Yeah.
Like,
I think
yes.
this is a room full of Halloween.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
big fan. No, don't you
We're like the
fret.
spooky time.
It's very scary, but I grit my teeth and bear it.
Spirit Halloween,
Proud
frequent
of you.
shoppers.
Yeah.
They know us by
Oh,
name
we
when
took
go
a
in
trip there. We did do a Spirit Halloween trip. We didn't even buy anything. We just
Former
looked at
employee
all the
won't
stuff.
set my foot in one of those buildings.
Oh, boy.
Don't they hire anybody?
I have been at the counter when my boss has been like, "Do you want a job?
To like a guy.
Do you want a job? Here's how you use the register." Okay, I taught him how to use the register. I'm going home tonight. And I'm like, are you fucking serious?
God. They're only open for like a month, right? 2
Yeah,
months?
but like,
Yeah, like a month
like,
and a half.
we're talking about like, okay, here's how you put the application in, and then here's how you get the money out of the drawer. Like,
God.
Step 1, step 2.
You can just rob the drawer and run away.
I mean,
Pretty much.
they're owned by Spencer's Gifts, so...
Yeah.
Oh,
I never knew that.
Oh,
I
very
didn't
cool.
know that either.
Yeah,
That
they're owned by
checks.
Spencer's.
That makes
so
like a
yeah.
lot of sense because
Uh-huh.
their Halloween section used to be like real intense in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, yeah,
That's when they bought Spirit Halloween, was the 90s. I wanted that today, because I'm like, how does this company exist? They're open for like a month every year. That's how.
Yeah, at the end of the season, they always try to like get us to work at Spencer's for like the holidays.
Oh,
What a nightmare.
Yeah, why would you?
God.
So, for this episode, we just kind of wanted to focus on our film discussions, and each of us brought in. Think of one. Each of us brought in a film that we would like to talk about in particular.
Yeah.
So,
Because it's the Halloween time and we gotta
One
get
of our
spooky.
Halloween favorites.
yeah. And then hopefully this episode is out before Halloween.
Oh, I'm gonna like stay up all night in my little sweatshop of a bedroom and just like crank it out.
Yeah.
Well, you better.
Would anybody like to go first?
I could go first. Here's the thing about mine. I have like a vague, slight like little backup just in case, because the thing about Lake Mungo is first of all, its cover art is like the worst fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
What is it from? After Dark Horror Fest?
Oh, it's the full title on the back here is Lake Mungo 8 Films to Die For After Dark Horror Fest 4. Yeah. Which like doesn't inspire confidence when you first pick it up.
Who put that DVD out? Because I remember that used to be a thing every year.
Yeah, they used to do a theatrical.
That looks like an Anchor Bay DVD.
It says like Lionsgate down here, but
it was Lionsgate that did this.
Yeah.
It was Lionsgate that did this because they would take like 4 like smaller horror movies and they'd put them out after this 8 films to die for or whatever thing, and they did that. I don't know when they stopped. That actually may have been the last year.
They did those.
But
like,
I would see those every
think,
single year, like FYE or whatever, for like 4 or 5 years. And some of the movies were really good. Most were.
Like Lake Mungo, and Lake Mungo is made on like a shoestring budget, right? So that's why I can imagine that it's on here.
I heard about Lake Mungo on like an internet forum where I was just like, what are some scary movies I haven't heard about? And this one got suggested, and I looked at it like on Amazon, and it was like $5 or something, and I was like, yeah, I'll take this risk. And I really liked Lake Mungo a whole bunch. It's made on a budget of like nothing. It's like an Australian mockumentary about like a family whose daughter has died, and they're having some paranormal type sightings in their house, and all of those things sound fucking terrible for like a horror movie. They all sound like things that I would like normally hate, that are just like every other movie you'd see on Netflix.
Oh,
just
low
like
budget paranormal.
Mockumentary.
This came out pre-Paranormal Activity, I think. Did it?
Yes.
I believe so.
Because that's definitely one
2008?
Yeah, I think so.
Definitely.
I think it's 2008.
Yeah, because Paranormal Activity is around the time that I like checked the
2009.
fuck out of ghost movies.
2009.
So it might have been
They might have been the same year then.
I think that might be the year.
This movie was like not known very well,
but it wouldn't have been.
when
It wouldn't have been following in its footsteps because it'd be too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've all seen Lake Mungo too.
Yeah, I
so
actually just saw it recently.
Yeah.
Because you guys have all mentioned it to me before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Lake Mungo is the movie that I like more every time I watch it, because there's like a lot of like weird stuff just going on like in the background and like non-linearly throughout the movie, but it's like it can be like really hard your first time through to like pick up on it, because you're like not you're seeing it as events progress, like just as they are. It's hard to talk a lot about Lake Mungo because you don't like. It's one of those movies that when it starts, it just like goes, and it's hard like not to spoil things because the story's constantly progressing and like new like plot threads are like popping up, and like new characters are being like brought in and stuff, and like. You're getting like conflicting like interviews from like neighbors and stuff, and like you're piecing it together like as the documentary crew and the family are like you're piecing together the story of what happened.
You should because I don't think we're gonna do a spoiler warning for like every movie that we talk about. But, like, you should throw up like a skip ahead.
Yeah.
Like right.
Because I want to talk about it.
Yeah. Because there's some really like cool fucking shit in this movie.
And there might be some people
talk about.
Yeah.
So like before we do that, like definitely if you have the chance to check out Lake Mungo, like really go for it. Mm-hmm. And
it's on Amazon Prime streaming.
Is it?
It's pretty easily available.
Is it cool if I say, because it's something you said, and you've also seen this movie in terms of finding things out as protagonists go. Not going to get super into it, but name dropping it because I feel like very few people have seen it. Noroi does a similar thing.
Oh yeah,
Noroi. What is it?
Yes, Noroi the Curse. It used to be on YouTube for free.
It is on Shudder.
It's Japanese.
It's on Shudder now with an official sub.
Oh, someone else just recommended that movie.
Yes,
I like that movie a lot.
Noroi is similar.
It has some like wild visuals.
You haven't recommended me anything bad yet, so I'll check it out.
Oh, one day.
But yeah, you learn things along in Noroi as well. So that's just me randomly plugging this movie because I recently found out that you can watch it without having to pirate it in the United States.
Cool, I'll check it out.
Which is awesome because it's a great movie. It came out in like 2005, 2006, I think, and.
It's a Japanese horror movie, you said, right? Because I seem to like Japanese horror whenever I watch it.
It is a Japanese horror movie in the style of a documentary.
Yes.
Ooh, okay. Because that actually brings up another thing that I loved about Lake Mungo. I haven't seen anything that when I think mockumentary, I think like a comedy. I think of like
Yes.
I think like What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
I think like Best in Show, Spinal Tap. So like
I
seeing
think a lot of comedians too hate that term mockumentary.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I heard Mr. America came out recently, and Tim doing some interviews was like, "Yeah, I really don't want to call this a mockumentary. Like that's a bad word in my opinion."
Really? I had
Yeah.
no idea this was a thing.
So yeah, I didn't either. So I mean,
Because I will call something
Fuck
mockumentary,
it.
but like
But
no,
it
interesting.
definitely is a
It's just
mockumentary.
like documentary style.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess.
What was cool about it though is because I always equated that to comedy. So seeing Lake Mungo really like I don't know opened my eyes to in like a small way, but like to what you can do with horror and shit.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it really it already is like a scary like it's like we're gonna get into like spoilers, but like it's like a cosmic horror I would say in a lot of ways. And that being in like a mockumentary style, like it made it feel even more intimate and personal when you're watching it. Like it was you're right there with everybody and
It's like a very like intimate and personal kind of movie. Like that's
Yeah,
like
totally.
really the vibe. Like it's
It's about a family grieving, really.
yeah, and that's like one of the I think like the hard things about watching it too is that like for the first like third of the movie until it kind of like starts to take some turns like. You're kind of wondering, like, when is this going to be a horror movie? Because for a while, it really is just, like, it really is just a brutal story of a family grieving. It's like an Australian family with 2 kids. The 16-year-old daughter drowns unexpected. Well, you always drown unexpectly.
Yeah.
I'm expecting well
Virginia Woolf.
I got 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
I gotta go drown in a lake.
Virginia Woolf drowned on purpose. So
Okay,
counterpoint.
all right.
devil's advocate.
A little counterpoint. Counterpoint.
But yeah,
Facts
so
and
like,
logic.
but like, it's so much just about how like the family and like the community is like processing this like tragedy and
That's
and
why
for
it
a long
reminded
time
me of
for
Twin
like
Peaks.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
such
gonna
a
say
chunk
that.
of it, it's like not even scary for a while. It's just
Yeah.
it's just sad. It's
Oh, yeah.
just profoundly sad. And for that reason, I would recommend not watching it alone.
Well, I got several friends into it that like you guys don't know, but I got a lot of friends into it back home, and they all watched it alone, and they
Oh,
all
boy.
like would text me back like, "What the fuck?"
Why are you
Because it's the
making me
only
watch this?
it's the only horror movie too. On a side note, that has made me like, and like a lot of horror movies have gotten me, like the one I'm going to talk about, and like a couple other ones that we're probably going to talk about, but like. Lake Mungo is the only one to like comically keep me up at night. Like I had to keep the lights on, as stupid as that sounds, because it just kind of really
I
wormed its way into my brain.
I could
don't
accept
know.
that because there are some ways that imagery is presented in that movie that are genuinely disturbing.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like some of the initial, like when we initially find the girl when she's drowned, and it cuts to like the footage of her corpse.
Oh yeah.
And it's like it's really unsettling because it's just presented
As if it happened.
Yeah, it's not. It's just like here's a picture of a bloated dead body.
Oh, yeah.
and
Like,
it's
until things get spooky, it's just sort of painfully real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then even when it gets spooky, though, there's some stuff, and I'm not gonna spoil the spooky stuff, and what the spooky stuff is. But when that happens too, there's a moment toward the end where it's like you kind of see what's coming, and when it happens, it's. Ugh.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I will.
No, hold
Yeah,
up.
no.
Hold up. One sec before we dig into the spoilers. This movie, I think the way I've recommended this to like a lot of people is like I don't generally like horror movies. Don't really stick with me and like really like mess me up like beyond me viewing them. Like when I get out of like the theater or like later at night or whatever. But like Lake Mungo, conceptually, I think the way that the movie functions, like the ideas that it presents and the way that ghosts kind of function in this movie really like stuck in my head and made me like consistently kind of like nervous afterwards. Just kind of like processing it like made me like really unsettled like that night and stuff. So like yeah, it's a movie that got me when others didn't. So
So before we spoil this, I'm just gonna put this in for you and for the viewer. This is the part where you will skip ahead if you
Yes.
don't want
Yes,
this spoiled.
Yeah.
Throw up a picture of
Yeah.
Mr. Krabs.
Mr. Krabs says, skip to right here if you don't want to get the movie spoiled.
Ag, 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 ag.
Ag, 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 ag.
Yeah. Anyway.
I think part of the reason why the horror worked so well for me in Lake Mungo is that it halfway through the movie there is that disproving point where they're
Yes.
like, yeah, hey, her brother like doctored all this shit. Like none of this shit is real.
That made me mad at first.
Yes, it did.
No, it made me.
Here.
Okay, you too, because it
Same
made
here.
me get to a point where like. Sorry to interrupt you, but
No, it's all good.
It was like for me, I was on board And because Claire and Dakota showed me this one night when we were hanging out, and I mentioned offhand I was kind of in a mood to see a horror movie.
Dakota
And then you
showed it-
destroyed
Oh, yeah, you
me.
wanted
you wanted
a movie.
I wanted a movie about
You
doppelgangers
wanted
because I
psychological horror and you
Two
wanted
coops.
doppelgangers,
Yeah.
and Dakota was like, I
have something about
Yes,
both of
now
those.
that we're in spoiler territory, the supernatural thing in this is specifically doppelgangers.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Yes, temporal doppelgangers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Before I forget what I was gonna say, in the middle, when they find out that like the horror we've been shown is actually doctored, and it was like it's part of all the drama going on and stuff. I got mad at the movie. I was like, you had me, and then like it's like you manipulated me, you know. And I was almost,
They sure did.
and I was
You
almost
feel
gonna get.
cheated. You feel betrayed.
I felt betrayed by the writers and shit, and I was like about to get pissed, and then the real horror started after that, and it was like, oh fuck, when we find out the story about the doppelganger and all this shit. I don't know how
Like
order
the
to
kind
talk
of like,
about this.
yeah,
is.
it's like kind of like time loop. The way
Yeah.
that like everything's kind of a circle. Like
Fucking Twin Peaks, man.
Yeah, no, it's
it reminded me a lot of
Fucking
Twin Peaks.
man.
I'm like the only one here who's
I know
not
you.
into Twin
You
Peaks.
don't like David Lynch.
I
right?
don't like David Lynch.
That's fine.
I get it.
Yeah,
You
I
guys,
get it.
Listen, you guys need a contrasting viewpoint,
Yes.
Yeah.
and that's what I provide.
Hot take.
I'm like a really big fan of using like low fidelity equipment to like make the mind fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
And the fucking one of the moments that just sticks with me is when they find her cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And-
then
Yeah.
and because it's like 2000, it takes place
Oh,
in like
man.
2008 or something, so it's like
That's like a
she's
flip phone.
got like a flip phone. And what are you looking for?
I thought it said on the cover.
On the cover, it says in 2008, Alice Palmer
Yeah,
died.
okay.
Her
Yes.
nightmare.
Oh,
did
her
Palmer.
last
Oh yeah, her name
Yeah.
is Palmer.
Yes, yes.
I know. I was like just thinking.
No,
that
I
earlier.
legitimately think it is an
'Cause I forgot
homage
her
to
last
Twin
name.
Peaks.
But it
in
does. But it
part.
does say 2009 on the back, so I think like
Everything's
because it
scary
kind of
in the
takes place
woods.
the year after she
Yeah,
dies.
yeah.
So but yeah, when they find her cell phone in it, because it's just like a shitty flip phone.
Yeah.
And like the real horrific footage is it's like what did she see that night, and she recorded on this like grainy ass flip phone. And so I think that it makes it so much scarier than if the image of what she saw was clear.
Oh, and
Yeah.
it's bookended around with what should be good memories too, because she's off on like a little like trip with her friends,
Like a school trip,
and they're all
yeah.
like having fun, and then like it clicks that she's like, oh, this is where I was in my dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's like I gotta see if this is like real or not, and that's like like it's terrifying because one, it's like scary like visually, but like more frightening is that like every one of her fears is like completely justified like right then, and she
Yeah.
knows that she's gonna die.
Yeah.
Like her death is just solidified, and she's like, "There's no way I can
Yeah.
escape this."
What is it?
at that point?
What's the order again? She has a dream where she sees herself at Lake Mungo, which is a real place in Australia. It's like a
Yes.
dried up lake. And then she actually goes there, and she goes to where she was in the dream, and she sees a doppelganger of
Face
her.
to face with
She
it.
sees a doppelganger
Yes.
of herself dead.
Well,
From-
she
And
Yeah.
there's also when because she visits like a local psychic who also throughout the movie you're like, oh, this guy's like kind of bullshit. Like it doesn't seem like he's like that has like bad intentions, but it kind of seems like just like, oh, he's just like some kind of like radio psychic or whatever.
Yeah.
But his whole thing is that he like does like these kind of like astral travel-y things with them, which seem like bullshit, except for like at the end when you realize the mother and daughter are like connecting, and then like the dreams that she recounts to him. Like there's a scene when the actual haunting like begins, where the mother's describing a reoccurring dream that she has where she like feels Alice like come into the room and then like stand at like the foot of the bed, and she feels like she came directly from the lake, and she's like terrified, so she doesn't open her eyes. And then Alice describes during her walk like walking into her mother's room, but she feels heavy, and she feels like heavy and wrong.
What got to me about that
Her,
is
like,
she
mom
felt.
doesn't look at her.
Yeah, and like in her like she
I
sees that her
haven't seen
mother
it
is like
forever. I'm
terrified.
just like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
What
She,
the
like,
more
she-
we
she-
talk about it, the more like I'm like genuinely being
I'm
creeped
like
out.
getting
Yeah,
Yeah.
she can like sense that her mother is like terrified of her, and she doesn't know why, but she just knows something bad happened.
Not even
what's-
that.
and then
oh,
that,
sorry,
that
wait,
stacks
I didn't
up.
Well, what's really cool about that is also how it comes around is, yeah, this is, I guess, the ending of the movie. We're in spoiler town, where it kind of comes back to, like, they figure all this out, and they're like, oh, we did it. Everything's resolved. It's cool. And there's this little bookend as it leads into the credits, which shows scenes from that documentary where they're like all the fake footage. And her ghost is in, her actual
Yeah.
ghost is in all of that
So
footage.
that's where like I wasn't necessarily feeling like super creeped out throughout the movie, but it was when they were like pulling back from all those photos of her, and then like you see the other her.
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
in the
it sets
corner.
in.
And then
Yeah,
it's that
that's when
whole
that shit
it's that
set
whole
in for
theme
me.
of like they missed the point.
Yeah.
They were looking so hard, but they weren't actually looking.
Yeah.
It gets kind of
Because she's right there. I mean, once you see the photo pulled out,
Totally.
it's very clear that there's a ghost in these pictures, but they were so focused on this fake thing that they wanted to believe that they weren't focusing on what actually was.
That gives like
And
a cool
it's,
perspective.
and it's sad because they move away.
Yeah.
They just leave her ghost stuck in this place.
Yeah, that's like
without them.
Like that, the bad feeling at the end is that the family's really like they're all able to move on from the grief, which is like healthy, and it kind of ends it on like a good note. And then it's like it like she's still stuck there though.
Yeah.
Like her ghost and her memory are like still there, and they're able to like disconnect and leave it behind. But,
Yeah, and
but
she's
it's not
just,
gone.
and she's just abandoned.
I was just thinking like what Ward was saying about like how they like weren't seeing what was like right in front of them, kind of like made me think about how the movie sort of goes into like, you know, Alice had these secrets that nobody knew,
With the neighbor relationship
and we get into
stuff,
the-
yeah.
I was waiting to talk
yeah,
about the neighbor.
can we call it sexual abuse? Because
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
she's underage. You know, it's like it's fucked up.
and how it was kind of like this thing that nobody knew about
Yeah.
when she was alive, and that like she was going through that nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like that's the real horror of that movie to me.
Oh, yeah,
is
when-
that
Oh,
footage
yeah.
where,
When you see him, like-
walk into
yeah.
like the back door.
He's there when they first show that footage too. Like I remember like the first time I watched it, like I saw him and I was like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Yeah.
like because you can see his like little face just like zip by real quick, and you're like,
Wait, the
"Was
neighbor?
that-"
The neighbor?
Yeah, yeah.
right?
It's like
the neighbor who has sex with the daughter. Yeah, that's what happens.
yeah, it's
in
like
this movie.
it's like who's this? Is this?
Yeah.
I thought it was like the brother or something. I'm like, who is this down here? Like, is this the dad? Is this?
It's
I
like
don't
it
know
brought-
this guy.
It brought this weird like you're the whole time you're scared of like a paranormal, like you go in knowing it's a ghost movie or whatever, and you're waiting for the paranormal bit to get the paranormal horror to hit, and then you have like suddenly real horror.
Yeah.
There like real life shit, and it's like, oh god, you have like all these different emotions going through. Backtracking real quick, there were two things I wanted to point out. One, the whole like you said, it didn't set in until the end when you started to think about it and you saw the pictures of her actually there. It kind of gives this, and you were talking about this a little bit too, it kind of gives like a perspective where like you as the viewer know more about the movie than the people in the movie, because they're trying to make a documentary about like, you know, looking for her ghost or like all their experiences they had, and at the end they think they got it, they think they figured everything out and they're all satisfied, they move out, but then you as the viewer see like, no, it's still bad. And like, I don't know, I don't know a lot of movies or media that like have done that to me, to like, give me like that kind of, I know more about everything going on than like these people.
Also, I really like how it's like one of those movies where you kind of like are putting it together as you watch it. Like it feels very like puzzle, like a puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was the other thing too, backtracking even more.
Yeah, sorry.
But about the dreams, like when she's when like she talks about the
And,
dream
like,
she
she
has
and her
of-
mom are kind of having those like parallel
that
dreams.
yeah, the parallel dream, specifically the daughter's point of view, that is the specific one that kept me up at night, because she specifically, and okay, first now I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but I was going through like a weird time in my life when I watched this movie. I started to think too much about how she said that she, in her dream, she's seeing her parents and like she can do nothing about, like she wants to yell or she wants to talk to them but she can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
That fucked with me. Like that she was just
Or
like had
Yeah.
she had like no connection to the people she loved anymore. And then you watch her as just a ghost and she still is that. What a fucking bummer this movie.
I know.
Yeah, for me, I don't.
Oh no, it's like
Gets you.
no,
That's what I mean by it's cosmic horror.
I don't
like,
remember it being like I don't even remember being scared by the movie. Like I was scared at certain points, obviously, but just emotionally affected.
That's
by
what I mean.
it.
That's what kept me
It's
up.
a
Yeah,
really
like,
heartbreaking movie.
Like unsettled and sad. And,
Yeah.
Oof.
We should probably move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you
Just
check
like the
real quick?
family.
Yeah.
So, my movie, which is a Halloween favorite of mine, I actually watch this every year, is, and I will preface with this, I like the original a lot. I've mentioned it once before on the podcast, I'm a huge Romero fan. Well, most of his movies.
Yeah, yeah.
The later works
Diary of the
are
Dead Bitch.
kind of a rough ride. I have a soft spot for that for incorrect reasons.
Well, actually, I know your reasons, and I agree.
It is a funny movie.
It is.
But Survival is unwatchable. Survival is terrible.
That's the only one that I haven't seen.
It's
Isn't that the
very-
one that
it's-
James Rolfe is in?
James Rolfe is in one of them?
He might
The
be.
Fuck?
It's really bad. A zombie rides a
Might be.
horse.
Oh,
Horse zombie.
fuck me.
Yeah. But this is Zack Snyder's remake of Dawn of the Dead.
Which the cover art too looks like Zack Snyder's Watchmen.
Yeah, it does.
Look at this shit.
It is worth noting, this is not the original cover art. This is a cover art made for Scream Factory's re-release of this.
That's a better poster cover art for it than the real one.
I
don't know anything about
When I was
this.
younger, that poster creeped me out.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think I agree.
guess stuff
I don't know. I
really,
was 11.
I was like
but-
13, so
Okay.
13 or 12 when this movie came out.
I will
so-
say, before we continue into this, I actually really love the original poster for the original film, like
Okay.
the really minimalist one. It looks really...
yeah.
Oh,
with
Romero's
the-
one.
Yeah,
the Hell is
head.
full.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hell is full. So
Yeah,
I come back.
that's such a fucking good
Isn't that
poster.
what's the one where it's like the head and then it turns into like the moon and the sun or something? Is that the day? The day
that's
is
Dawn
the
of the Dead.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Okay, though
yeah.
that one's awesome. I
Yeah,
love
Day,
that.
Day is the one with the sun in the background. It's like kind of a profile of a zombie.
Yeah, I've been wanting to watch that
But yeah.
trilogy for like a while now.
They're all good. I could talk at length about all of them.
So super quick, because it has
Yes.
nothing to do with the movie. The most vivid memory I have about Dawn of the Dead was seeing it in theaters, and a kid that I went to high school with sat down right behind me and dumped a large soda the second he sat down, and it was dead quiet in the theater. You just hear the soda hit the floor, and the quiet is, oh shit.
This is a movie that I really enjoy. It doesn't have. I mean, who here has seen this version of the movie?
I have.
So people,
the
some
big
people.
boys can talk.
So the premise of this is very akin to the original in that zombies happen, they go to a mall, hilarity ensues.
Hilarious.
Love it.
But I will posit this. In the original, it has one of the funniest like horror movie deaths ever when like the biker puts his arm in like the
Yes.
stress test machine.
Yes.
Like and he's just like
yeah.
zombies are chasing him and he just like sits down. He's
Yeah.
like, time to check my pulse. And then like it closes and then the zombies bite him and he's like, what?
Well, no, they tear him apart with his
Yeah.
arm, and then
His arm's in there.
It cuts to the blood pressure thing. It's like 0/0.
It's so funny.
It's very stupid, and I don't get that scene.
No, it's stupid
it's very,
as fuck.
It's
Like,
very dumb.
there's no reason why he would ever do that, but it's great.
Film restoration has not done the original movie kind.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
Oh
blood.
my god.
Oh,
I
are you
love-
talking about the effects? Like
I
on
love the makeup in the original movie.
Oh, yeah.
like, a lot, but like seeing it on like a
Blu-ray.
4K transfer or something like that is just.
Didn't that
Are
happen
you talking
with
about
like
like the mannequin head that
man.
like pops?
Oh, yeah.
like
Or-
all of the makeup
Yeah.
like stops right at
So-
the neck, and it's like this like light blue that it just reads
yeah.
as light blue makeup.
That mannequin head actually, because that was so there's a head explosion in Dawn of the Dead. It's really famous because I think one of the first, if maybe the first head explosion
Yep.
in like a horror movie.
not scanners.
No, Dawn of the Dead is much
Okay.
much earlier.
77?
Yeah, it was like 70s.
Okay.
That mannequin head is actually a
yeah.
cast of the lead actress.
That story's fucked.
It was repurposed because there is the original ending of the film involved the lead actress stepping into a helicopter blade,
Yeah.
committing suicide.
Yeah, the original
was
ending of the
busted, yeah.
movie is fucking bleak.
So they
Yes.
painted it up and
They
then
painted
like
it up,
put it in
and-
the raid scene.
And well, it was all very spur of the moment because it was Savini's idea. He just very quickly was like, "I have an idea. I'm doing it now." And he took once they painted it up. He opened the mannequin head. He filled it with blood packets and just stuff from craft services, like just bits of ham and stuff. Piled it in, put it on a thing, and he's like, "Film this," and he shot it with a shotgun.
I have an idea. Takes ham and shoves it into a man.
There was no explosive. He literally just grabbed a shotgun, put a live round in it, and just fired into it. And he's like, "There's the scene. It's
What
done."
a little fucking legend.
So all the bits flying out, there were just chunks of ham and corn and stuff.
Filmmaking in the 70s is a different beast.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh my god.
But yeah, that's what happened. But yeah, that's
So what's the deal with this guy?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
the
so we got
2004
sidetracked.
version.
Yeah.
so the
Let's
main,
talk about the good one.
Again, I'll preface, this isn't like a great movie, but it's a movie I find very entertaining.
Yeah.
yeah.
Primarily, I think one of the reasons I like this movie so much is that its pacing is so rapid. I mean, and it kind of falls hand. This is one of the first, I guess, zombie movies to have zombies that ran. That was really controversial when this movie came out because there was only one other movie that did that, which was 28 Days
28 Days
Later.
Later.
But I'd argue those aren't zombies to begin with, in that they're people with an illness, and the movie like goes way out of its way to say like everyone's alive in that. All the people in 28 Days Later are alive; they just have an infection. Whereas this, these are reanimated corpses, but they run. And that was a whole thing. A lot of people, there were dividing camps amongst people who liked zombie movies. This was also pre the zombie blow up of the late 2000s.
Yeah, okay. When I think of zombie, I think of the zombie trend.
No,
so.
this was pre-trend.
Okay.
This is, if you liked zombie movies, it was a niche thing back then. Kind of missed those days because zombie fiction wasn't like absolute garbage like it is now.
Oh yeah,
it wasn't like strippers versus Nazi zombies.
Yeah, not to make you sad about it,
nice.
but I'm a few years younger than you. I mainly know the zombie trend, that era, so it kind of fucking killed it for me.
Yeah, no, and that
I still
sucks
want to check out
because,
these, not this one, but
and that sucks
maybe
because
this one.
Zombies can be really scary monsters if used properly.
Conceptually, they're terrifying.
A recent zombie movie that does it very well is Train to Busan. Train to Busan does that really well. It's real. It's I think 2016.
Okay.
It's a Korean.
To be honest with you, didn't know it was a zombie movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Korean film, and it is bleak as all hell.
Dude, I want to get a Korean.
It doesn't play stock for laughs. It's sad.
I'm looking it up.
The ending had a moment where I was literally like, don't do it. It's a real bummer of a movie, and the zombies are billed to be really scary. But I keep getting sidetracked from this. Anyway, the reason I like this movie a lot, I think, is that it's got really rapid pacing, which kind of goes in line with its really fast zombies.
Yeah.
In that the establishment for this movie is nurse comes home from work, has a little liaison with her husband, misses an emergency broadcast, wakes up the next morning, and their neighbor is in their house. Then the little girl is zombified, rushes the husband, rips his throat out. The husband reanimates, she climbs out a window. All hell is breaking loose, and it's just happening. The movie is happening now.
Yeah, the one thing I want to really hammer home is when I saw this movie when I was a kid, it fucking terrified me because of that opening sequence.
Yeah.
That opening sequence for me is I love the whole movie, but that opening sequence is genuinely really strong.
It's the girl in the doorway.
Yeah,
because she's just standing there breathing. She steps into the light. You see their face is torn up. She sprints forward, and it just when that happens, you're like, oh, I guess this movie's just on. And then when she sees the outside, I mean, there's just ambulances crashing. There's just fires everywhere, and it's like, oh, we're in. And I mean, and I always liked it. I still like that in that there's no filler. It's just we're going. The movie's happening now.
I don't know. It's like I was a kid. The credit sequence uses a lot of existing archive footage of riots and that sort of thing.
Set to Johnny Cash.
Set to When the Man Comes Around by Johnny Cash, which is I think one of his first big posthumous songs. And I don't know, it really had I was a kid and it just scared the hell out of me. It really felt like it was showing you the world falling apart.
When I first saw this movie when I was around 14, 15, it did the same to me too.
And the rest of the movie, yeah, go ahead, sorry.
I distinctly remember watching this movie with my dad, and we're like, all right, the movie's happening, because most horror movies don't just go to the races like that.
Are the other
son, the movie is happening.
I'm particularly tickled by that.
Yeah,
footage of a dump truck plowing through people.
Son, observe.
Well,
the film has begun.
There's specifically a scene in the beginning where her neighbor's just don't get any closer, points a gun at her, and she's like, I'm not gonna hurt you. She's like, don't get any closer. And then out of the blue, he just gets sideswiped by an ambulance, busted in half, and the ambulance just hits a building, and it's okay.
This sounds too miserable for me.
Oh, well, that's the thing is it's not. The opening
It's fun?
sequence absolutely is.
Okay.
The rest of the movie actually has it's kind of crude, but I don't know, for what it is, it has a vision and tone.
It is worth noting.
It is funny at points.
This movie is directed by Zack Snyder. This movie was written by James Gunn. Did you not know that?
Oh, no.
The screenplay was written by James Gunn.
Okay.
He actually, after writing this, immediately went and wrote Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed.
He wrote that?
He wrote Scooby-Doo the original movie, too.
This man.
Yeah.
That's right, because he wanted to kill Scrappy-Doo forever.
Yes.
And he did.
That was an agenda of his. But yeah, this was written by James Gunn. Actually, this particular release of it has a retrospective with James Gunn talking about writing the movie and what he did with it. The movie moves really quick. I guess our big lead man for the most part is Ving Rhames, who plays a big muscly police officer who likes to kill people.
Where this movie doesn't work for me is it's unfortunately a product of the early 2000s where everything is just fucking hammered with pop nu metal. There's a lot.
Aren't you a Slipknot fan?
laugh.
Fucking got him.
555
Sure,
for 666.
That was
You got
real.
me.
That was really easy.
It was. I opened that door and you fucking kicked it open. No, that's fair. But like, yeah, it's like the Disturbed. You're not even. Never mind. I don't want to fucking talk about stuff.
You're still allowed to have
I'm heated.
That could have been a good title. I don't want
To
to
be
fucking
honest
talk
with you,
about
though,
Slipknot.
It is absolutely a product of its time, and for me,
Yes,
that is part of the appeal
This
for
movie
me.
does end with a credit sequence set to Down with the Sickness.
Yes. Okay.
It's this movie. I know about that.
Yeah,
There was
okay.
also a section with Richard Cheese's Down with the Sickness in the middle of it.
That's also one of the most memorable sequences in the movie because it
is.
parallels the shopping
It's
montage.
them just dicking around, and they're just getting used to just like, I guess this is life now.
just dicking around in a mall.
Yeah,
and
they're
it's
just like hitting golf balls off stuff and
making sex tapes and lifting weights.
Yep.
It's a weird
They
fucking
put
thing.
Leno at
yeah,
some
playing
point.
celebrity squares with just by shooting zombies that look like celebrities because they're bored. There's another guy named Andy who's like a gun shop owner, and he's not even in the mall. They just kind of have a back and forth via a whiteboard, and things kind of go to hell when they go to like try to help him out.
I distinctly remember the zombie baby birth.
Oh yes,
There
there's so many scenes in this movie. that are just like,
There's a zombie baby, and that there's a pregnant woman, and she gets zombified, and like right toward the end of her pregnancy, and there's kind of a confrontation because the baby, he like gives her a C-section if she dies to pull the baby out because I'm assuming her husband thinks that it's gonna live.
Yeah.
And eventually they confront him, and the baby did not live, and in fact was infected and has turned. And he ends up shooting one of the other members because he doesn't want to like accept this. And then they gun him down, and they have to. There's a scene where it like shows the baby, and the baby's like.
Yeah.
And then they're just,
even
just
then,
like,
when I was a kid, that was still pretty goofy looking.
yeah. But then it cuts away, and they shoot the baby.
I mean, I can't
Yo,
imagine
You don't
like,
see them shoot the baby
a
like.
newborn looking like scary.
Yo, Ethan, when he does that sound, could you put up like a picture of Donald Duck real quick?
Okay.
It, like,
Baby down dog.
Okay.
I'm sure that
in
picture
my
baby's on.
memory, the baby looks exactly like one of the baby dolls you would buy at Spirit Halloween.
Really?
No, you're right.
I agree.
Oh, like the
Yeah.
fucked up baby dolls and
Yeah.
shit?
Yeah,
Oh.
no, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was a post effect because you can't put contacts in a baby's eyes.
Yeah.
Was it like did they have an actual infant?
I think they may have an infant for some like the wide shots. You can tell it's not fully CG because it was 2004 and you would have been able to
Shit
tell
like
if it
that
was
you
fully CG.
could notice at this
I'm
point.
pretty sure they overlaid CG for its eyes and the coloration of its skin, but I think it was an actual baby that they just teased a little bit so the baby would go like,
They teased them all.
yeah. They're just like, hey, kid.
Don't fucking poke
They
them.
just
Or is it one of those things where it's a movie, so so the newborn is 6 months old?
Yeah, exactly.
There's
But
also
yeah,
a lot of good Zack Snyder slow mo in that scene.
there's a lot
God.
of there's some good slow mo shots, a bunch of little cameos from original Dawn of the Dead people. Tom Savini's in this movie.
Ken Foree.
Ken Foree's in this. I can never remember the actor's name, but the other SWAT guy who was partners with Ken Foree also appears in this movie. I can't remember his name, but he shows up as a general. There's like a lot of little cameos. What I also like, this movie was steeped in like early 2000s DVD bonus features. In some ways that I appreciate. I wish still existed.
Are there
in that-
DVD games?
Not that far, but there were like
Shrek?
That's why I bought a DVD.
Oh my god.
Yo,
That's 100% fucking Jurassic Park 3 and
Oh
Shrek.
god. Shrek.
Those are my first two DVDs.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because they had games on.
Dude, did you ever look at the Shrek unfinished footage shit?
yes,
Fuzzy Donkey 3.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
or like
Find a picture of that, and just put it up.
Fuzzy
right here.
Donkey. Or like Fiona's hair like grows and
Put
flaps.
Fuzzy Donkey in our Dawn of the Dead conversation.
Oh my god.
But it had like two supplementary like little like short movie kind of things that they filmed for the DVD, which was like the gun shop owner Andy, his perspective, what he was doing in that time that he filmed on a little camera, and one was like newscasts of like what you would have seen if you watched the news while this was all going
That
down.
stuff's cool though.
And
it was genuinely cool. Yeah,
It is, because
it's
like
good.
for the Andy stuff, they got the actor that played Andy to come back and shoot all this footage, and it makes sense. It lines up with the timeline, and it's like it's neat. I miss that kind of stuff Because like now with a lot of Blu-ray releases, unless you're buying like Criterion or something, there are no special features.
Yeah.
It's totally bare bones.
Even like A24, right?
A24, shove your fucking Blu-rays
Wait,
up your ass.
hey, wait, Ant Stance? Wait, is it Ant Stance?
This is Ant Stance.
Oh, Ant Stance.
This is a Halloween themed.
Wait, is this a stance or a rant?
Yeah,
Ants
which
Rants.
one?
This is Ant Rant.
This is an Ant Rant. This is an Ant
Fucking
Rant.
A24 Blu-rays are garbage.
Say it right to the camera. Say it
There's
straight to the
literally,
camera.
it's like a deleted scene, 2 trailers in the movie. Like half
2
of them-
trailers, oh fuck.
Well, half of them don't even have commentary.
Why?
They're
tracks
both
on
for
them.
Toy Story 3.
How do you not have a commentary track on like a good movie like that? I'm spoiled by Criterion at this point.
Meanwhile, they're like, here, buy these $60 books.
Yeah.
Just spend more money on more of this shit.
Yeah, I mean, those are
Make
nice.
it- yeah, oh yeah, I love this.
You should go next.
Ant hates this and is plugging it.
Yeah. It's $60 on the A24 store right now, but your Blu-rays can go fuck themselves.
but for real though, I miss like special features, and I don't get why, because it's like if you're like studios, if you're worried about digital cutting into the profits of DVD and Blu-ray, then make them for digital too. Like you can do that. It's allowed.
Yeah.
Make money.
So I will say,
Entice me to buy stuff instead of just streaming it constantly.
Yeah.
some of the A24 stuff that comes with digital codes, when you plug them in, it's like, here's the movie and then here's special features that aren't on fucking Blu-ray.
And that's what doesn't make any sense.
I feel like some places
Give
are
me
trying
a
to...
reason to buy stuff instead of just streaming it, because
I-
you will literally make more money from people like me.
I remember when there was a point where they were taking special features off of DVDs and only putting them on the Blu-ray.
Yeah, I remember that too.
And I was at a point where I didn't have a Blu-ray player.
I
was pissed off about that shit.
I bought a copy of Cabin in the Woods because I knew the DVD had nothing on it. I didn't own a Blu-ray player, and I remember I watched the movie by redeeming the code on iTunes. I watched on my PC. I couldn't look at that Blu-ray until 3 years later when the current generation of game consoles came out. I'm like, finally, what's on this?
Yeah. Was there anything?
Yeah, there was actually quite a few special features because
Okay.
that movie had a really rough ride in terms of getting...
Wasn't it in development hell? Or am I thinking of something
it
else?
suffered from the MGM bankruptcy.
It sat on a shelf for a really long time.
Oh,
Because no one technically owned the rights to it at
and
that point.
then Chris Helmsworth, is it Hemsworth?
Hemsworth?
Hemp bag.
Yeah,
Thorman
yeah, because he's in it.
got famous, and then they were like, put it out.
That's really what the catalyst was?
That was a big one, and it's a fun movie. I like it.
I
good.
actually, that's
No,
on
no,
my
Cabin in the Woods is great.
that's on my 2 watch list.
Another fun
Oh my god, you
fact.
haven't
'cause-
seen Cabin in the Woods?
No,
Oh,
everyone I like
we
who
can
likes
watch,
horror.
We can watch that Blu-ray that took me a long time
Yeah,
to see.
but we still gotta watch not Devil's Backbone.
Yeah, Devil's Backbone.
We were talking about Devil's Rejects last
Yeah.
time. Devil's Backbone.
There's
I
a
gotta
double
see.
feature: Devil's Backbone, Cabin in the Woods.
Nope.
Devil's Backbone,
yes, well,
Devil's
yes, that.
Rejects.
I thought you meant Devil's Rejects. I'm
No.
getting fucking confused. No, that's why I'm so fucking confused.
You watched the Elevator movie that M. Night
Oh my
yes.
god. The
Didn't
poster for that's
know.
kind of clever.
There's an elevator in Cabin in the Woods. Easy mistake.
Easy mistake, yeah.
How they get an elevator in a cabin? Watch the film.
Find out.
That
That's
movie,
a real question that's in your head, though, right now,
Yes.
isn't it?
Cabin in the Woods was originally going to have a Left 4 Dead tie-in in terms of a stage in Left 4 Dead. It didn't happen, but there are Left 4 Dead monsters in Cabin in the Woods
Yeah.
if you keep your eyes peeled.
Golly.
The strangers are in that movie too. I just want to talk about that for a minute.
I don't want to talk about the strangers.
Well, no, I want.
Oh my
I want to
God, the
ask the
strangers.
question: why the fuck are the strangers in Cabin in the Woods?
Did it-
Why did they make a sequel to The Strangers like 14 years later?
Didn't we talk about that?
Why did I go see it?
That's what I'm thinking of. I thought you saw it. That's what it was.
You're asking the hard questions.
Yeah. I asked myself that question every time I leave a movie.
I remember
Why
this-
did I go and see that?
I remember
I thought you were like, why did I go see the Strangers sequel?
When did
Every
the-
time you leave a movie theater.
you still think about it. You've never seen like a good movie.
Yeah.
When did The Strangers 1 come out? This is leading somewhere, I swear.
That was the full title of the
2000
movie.
It's either 2007 or 2008 because that
I thought it
same
was before
night
that.
that I
was in
saw
high
it-
school.
I was too.
Yeah.
The same night that I saw that, I bought Mario Galaxy for the Wii.
Oh, you're taking me back.
2007, I think.
Still have my
And
copy
then
of
I
that.
stayed up late.
Taking you back to like 6th grade.
Oh no! This is the build-up because it was 2007. No, the 4th fucking grade.
Oh my god.
This is how I'm the baby of the
I
group.
forget
Everybody,
how tiny and
this is a
baby
bit.
you are.
Play the Rugrats
My
thing right
age,
now.
my age is actually the bit. I will play the Rugrats scene right now. That
Nobody-
fucking the trailer for The Strangers. I was 10, scared the shit out of me, and then I watched the movie like years later, as when I got into movies, and I was like, "This is fucking stupid."
I have like a genuine fear of like
Strangers?
Well, yeah, honestly. Well, like, the idea of, like, someone being in my house without me knowing, like, truly disturbs me.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, like, every nightmare I have is just, like...
Yeah.
Every nightmare I have is just, like, it's late at night and somebody comes to my door.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think everyone has one thing that just gets them in a certain way.
Oh, yeah.
I know mine, like, right away.
I don't want to talk about mine.
I got a couple.
For, like, so that I'll tell this really quick, and then we should, before your camera shuts off.
Before my camera shuts up, because you're stupid.
Yeah.
Just kidding, I love you.
I think I couldn't have been more than 8 years old. My mom was getting ready for work because she worked overnights. So, like, there's this room in our house, and my mom was in there. She was ironing her clothes to go to work, and my sister and I are, like, sitting at her feet, like, coloring or some shit. And there's the door to our basement, which has, like, a bunch of, like, glass planes in it. So, like, you can see down our cellar stairwell. And I remember looking over at it, and there was a man who I could only describe as the Got a Light guy from...
Oh, Jesus.
From Twin Peaks? Oh.
And, like, when that episode happened, like, that episode fucked me up to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, seeing somebody that, like, I visually remember standing in my basement doorway, like, really, really got under my skin. But I remember being, like, 8 years old and just seeing this man in our basement stairwell. So he had to walk all the way around our house, go in our side door, and then was, like, trying to come into our house while we're all there. And he's just like, I live here. He just kept saying that he lived here. And my mom is, like, holding the iron, like,
Oh
get
my
the
God.
fuck out.
Oh my
Who are you?
Christ.
So he walked out the cellar door and then walked up our back deck and then tried to come in our kitchen door, which is, like, they're, like, they're, like, literally right next to each other. So, like, we didn't know, like, it wasn't until, like, a couple years ago that my sister and I were, like, hanging out and talking, and we're like, do you remember this time where there was a man in our basement? And she's like, how come no one ever, like, she's like, how come we never talked about that? How did we just, like, move on?
What was the story? Was
You got me! You got me!
Like, was it somebody going through, like, some kind of problem? Like, did they actually not...
like, drunk or
Did they have, like,
So,
amnesia or something? Like, what was the deal?
The woman who owned the house before us, like, our house used to be, like, 3 different apartments, like, the attic, the, like, the ground floor, and then second floor, and then the basement. We kind of think that he actually did live in our house in the basement, but, like, we don't, like, no, because I lived there since I was 1.
Wait,
so,
there's actually a gray area where you're not sure where he lived?
No. I'm saying that, like, we think that he lived in our house before we moved.
Oh, I thought you meant...
Past tense, before you guys lived
Yes,
there.
yes,
Okay.
sorry.
That was what I was confused by.
Yeah.
That was fucking funny. We think he lived in the basement. Not sure.
So we think he used to live in the basement.
Okay. Oh, Jesus.
But even then, it had almost been, like, 10 years since he had lived there, so we were, like, you don't live here.
Yeah,
Oh, so you never got a follow-up. You never found out what was the story
No.
with him. That's scary.
I would guess he probably...
He just went away.
I would guess he was probably in some altered state and was like, oh, this is my house.
Yeah.
Because that would make sense if you're drunk or you have, like, dementia or something and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, no, I live here.
I immediately thought
Let me
dementia.
in. I want to go home.
Dementia, the real horror.
Yeah,
It's true, though.
I
Yeah.
mean...
That's a fact.
All
Hey,
right.
America needs to
mean-
be kinder to its senior citizens. We don't need to be putting people in homes. That's the real horror.
Where should we put him then?
Anyone here seen The Taking of Deborah Logan?
Oh yeah, the Taking of Deborah Logan.
Yeah,
I
is-
have not seen that either.
Hey, you
Wait,
should watch that.
isn't there a... Brett ran a game of Call of Cthulhu based off that movie.
That
So I've
makes
played
sense.
it, and it was really fun. I haven't actually seen that movie.
It's like a found footage movie about, like, an old woman with dementia or Alzheimer's. Actually, sorry, that was the mistake. Not dementia, Alzheimer's. And there's ghosts. I guess
want to actually see it.
It's
Leading
pretty
cause
good.
of Alzheimer's.
It's good, yeah.
it's like pretty good.
There's, like, one really amazing visual
Yeah,
towards the end.
Tumblr spoiled the fuck.
Oh
out
yeah,
of
that.
it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Most people have
as
seen
a
that
non-Tumblr
GIF.
user, I'm safe.
Yeah.
Same here.
Once you're
Maybe I
in,
should
once
watch
you're
that.
on Tumblr, you're
I had...
You're in
It's
house
the second
already.
deal we've made.
Why the
I-
fuck am I
yeah.
still on Tumblr?
I tried getting into Tumblr, and this shit didn't happen. It didn't work out for
You didn't
me.
get on Tumblr in 2009. That's why.
Oh, no, I got into Tumblr
I
in
was
2016.
2011.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's
2011.
like
Never
2011
made
was
attempts.
the sweet spot. Dawn of the Dead, 2004.
You can do 2 in 1 if you
film
want.
that I want to talk about is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
I hold that really too.
I actually did rewatch The Witch last night, and The Witch is like one of my all-time favorite movies.
Mhm.
Like,
Big fan.
hands
Yeah.
down. It's the like
It's a bookmark.
it's the period piece like aspect of it. It's the language of the movie. I love that just like right off the bat, like it does not like it doesn't hold your hand in any way. Like the language of it is so thick that like this movie's fucking hard to sit through.
Oh yeah.
They pull all, like I don't know
not
how
for
much
me.
you know of it, but like they pull literally all of the dialogue from letters written in the early 1600s.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
And
and,
it's,
it sounds like, I mean, not that I'm an expert, but it sounds legit, you know?
Yeah.
It is old English.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Well,
stuff.
it's
Old New
not
English. Old New English.
It also, yeah, it's not old
Early
English, but-
modern English, maybe.
Actually,
I'm actually Claire.
Well, you wouldn't be able to understand Old English, though, is what I'm saying.
So like it's
wow, you're belittling my intelligence.
a family who
I can't understand,
has
like,
moved to the
nobody can,
the
no.
States just
Yeah, the
for time's sake to the New World
Colonies.
colonies. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
They moved to the colonies and they have been banished from like their homestead. So they're forced to move out on their own, and they are just taking one beating after another. So like really the movie is about this family who is like struggling to survive in this brand new world to them, and like one by one, like a member of their family is essentially being picked off, and it's more about the looming threat of there possibly being a witch amongst them. And fuck, this movie is so good.
Oh, yeah.
Who here has seen it? Is it just
there's my boy.
Big fan.
Eric who hasn't seen it then?
Yep.
I think
Okay.
so.
Oh,
Then,
he's
yeah.
right in the middle, monkey in the middle.
Yeah, then we won't talk about it much.
Everyone
but,
stare at
like,
Eric when we talk about it.
It's
That was just the goat.
just visually, this is one of my favorite movies like ever, and I'm really looking forward to the director's new movie.
I like how like contained it
The
is as a
lighthouse,
story
right?
because it is just this family and this like claustrophobic little house. Like, and then once it like starts, I guess later as it was like it's like colder and darker out. They're like even more like contained in this like little house that in the middle of.
I definitely did want to say
Very-
something about it, but I super don't want to say it since you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But like, there's a thing with the main character towards the end of this movie that like I really really fucking love.
Yeah.
But you should just see The Witch.
I really
think,
like
wait,
I love the casting for the father, and I love like just like his voice, the way it's
Yeah.
just like it just like enters the scene. His voice is like so big and booming, but like so gravelly.
there's a bit towards the end of the movie with the father where like his voice is so deep and bassy that it is literally blowing out the
Oh
audio.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
The
love
au-
his voice.
The audio mixing of this movie is not the best. I will say.
Like, it's like,
My daughter. Particularly him and the everyone does a fucking bang up job in this movie.
Yeah.
Particularly the child actors is what impressed me because the dad is amazing. They're all good, but the dad's really great. The there's 4 kids, right?
5.
There's
5.
yeah.
The oldest brother, crazy.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
blew me away. He's just like, what is he? 12, 11?
Yeah,
like
he's not.
Caleb.
He's a
Caleb
kid.
is-
yeah, Harvey Scrimshaw. He like.
That's a hell of
His
a last
last
That
name
is-
is Scrimshaw.
Yeah, I thought I misread it.
Wow.
Shout out to Harvey. Sorry for making fun of
Miss
your name.
Scrimshaw.
So Harv.
But
That's a hell
You
of
should
a
become a
last name.
doctor.
Miss Dr. Scrimshaw. Scrimshaw.
That sounds like a doctorate in like sea captainry.
It's like isn't it like when you like carve things into like bone or tusk?
Yes.
Oh, I knew
Yes.
somebody with a I actually knew somebody with a
Yeah.
similar last name. Anyway, yeah, no, his performance like actually made me like it kind of floored me.
Yeah.
Like it was he's like my favorite performance in the whole movie, and he's not even the main character.
So I remember the scene now every time I rewatch it. Like I'm just like not anticipating it, just waiting for it to just be over with. But I'm pretty sure I saw this in like a theater that serves food.
Oh, I think I know what movie.
Did
Did you pop a big old brew and
There's
munch down on
like
a hot dog?
10 minutes into this movie, there is a baby castration.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
And all I'm thinking, like, as I'm rewatching it last night, I'm thinking, like,
I ate a hot dog.
they
during this part.
definitely served food during that scene.
That would definitely be a good moment to just like crack up. You're just
I
So
know.
you take a big bite out of your hamburger and you're just like,
I know what theater you're talking about, probably,
Yeah.
and I think this is very funny.
Did you see it at the movie tavern? Did you hit the big buzzer and have like one of the movie servants crawl over and like lick your little toesies to keep you warm?
They skitter across the floor.
New
Get
service.
over here, boy!
New service we're offering.
I'm hungry.
I need another bottle of wine. I'm trying to watch The Witch.
But like,
How can I watch a baby be
the production of this
castrated?
movie is like something that like I feel like we don't really get with a lot of like newer movies now. Not to like, I don't know, think about like cinema through like rose tinted glasses or anything like that, but like this is so intimate. There's fucking 5 people that are in this movie.
Oh, I love that.
And
Yeah.
like they're in such a remote location that like
6. Two
mother,
parents.
father, twins,
Son, daughter. Well,
Baby.
That's 6. I mean, and
right?
7
mother,
with the
father,
baby.
twins, Caleb, Thomason, and baby. So 7.
Is the whole
7.
fucking
And
script in
goat.
here?
Yeah, so this book it's literally the screenplay, and then after the screenplay are stills from the movie.
The
and
stills are
then
dope. They
it's
picked
all,
like some of my favorite ones actually.
production notes, and then notes, like historical notes that Robert Eggers used to like write the screenplay.
Oh, awesome! I actually want this.
But
Oh, he did like production sketches of like what
Black
the characters look like and
Phillip
shit.
is like the actual goat that portrays Black Phillip was an actual fucking monster on set.
Oh, really?
I've heard about this.
Yeah,
I haven't
like,
heard about this.
I
Black
haven't
Phillip
either.
gored like the father, like they had to
Oh,
stop production.
like
at
IRL.
some
Oh
point.
god.
Yeah,
Oh no.
The goat was a fucking asshole.
Yeah,
Well, good. I'm glad they got him to play a villain.
perfect. It's so perfect.
The
Black
goat
Phillip.
was Satan.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should absolutely see.
I think
The
I
Witch at
will
some
sometime
point. It's
soon,
90
yeah.
minutes and it's over like that.
Yeah, I think it's paced really well too.
Yeah.
Also, very small note. One of my favorite movie posters ever, with just like the side. It's not on here, but the profile view of the goat of Philip, and then just a lot of black space and then the title. I love shit like that.
So, his new movie, The Lighthouse, is doing like similar stuff with their marketing and posters too. Like, I think not the main poster that they're using, but one of the posters for The Lighthouse is just a profile of a seagull.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that one actually.
So I'm really looking forward to that movie, especially after like this. If this guy is making like more so like folk stories or like folk tales, than just like a straight up horror film. Like I can't wait to see what he does with The Lighthouse with like this type of movie.
It's such like a grim little movie.
Yeah.
So
Which,
good.
like,
I think those...
like the religiousness like really adds to the horror.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's,
It, like-
I want to say
Well, it's-
something, but I really don't want to
Can I
spoil
talk
it.
about the baby?
Yeah.
Like when the baby
Because that happens
disappeared.
5 minutes
Yeah,
into the movie.
yeah. So the baby vanishes, and it's like one of the things that like really got me was just like how sort of grim their Christianity is. That you know the brothers like looking to the father for some kind of like comfort. Like
They're
that is
hunting.
different. But
They're
yeah, but
hunting, and he's just straight up asking his father.
well, he's like wants to know like can we at least like take some comfort in like maybe that our innocent baby brother at least is in heaven, and the dad's like nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it? He hadn't
And it's
been
not
baptized
like-
yet or
Yeah,
something?
And the dad's not like happy. The dad's not taking any pleasure in this, but it's just like the fact that it's just like it's so like grim and also so certain.
Yeah, he's like, he
that,
wasn't
that,
baptized, he's
like,
in hell.
He wasn't baptized yet, so like not only is your infant brother gone, probably like shredded by wild beasts, also now he's in hell.
Yeah, that's like not the last time either that like religion just really
Rears its ugly head.
just really
As like a
comes
piece
up.
of horror.
Like their Christianity is just like a constant gut punch.
Yeah.
I think those like isolated intimate settings with like few characters works very very well in a lot of like in horror because like when you mentioned that also made me think of It Comes at Night.
Oh,
which
I
has,
was going
which
to talk
has
about
a similar
that.
structure.
Nothing even came at night.
Nothing
Yeah.
comes.
Nothing
at night.
even
Nothing
came at
comes
night.
at night. Derek Acosta, thanks.
Thanks,
you
Derek.
saved me
Thank you.
$10.
Thanks, Derek. I wasn't going to watch it. That movie fucked me up.
Oh, me
what
too.
a
But,
fucking
yeah,
good
That's a
horror
really
movie.
good movie.
Was
that-
that,
Oh,
is,
Any
was that a
review
movie
of
that
that
we're
movie
going to talk
irks
about?
me
or-
to-
You
to
could
no
hear a
end.
pin drop in the theater
Yeah.
during that scene toward the tail end.
Oh,
of the movie.
that made my stomach
Oh no!
drop.
Oh yeah, no. I watched that movie at home completely alone, and then
Me too.
And then that happened. I very, very rarely in a movie where I like gasp and just go like.
We're talking the last 15 minutes,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay,
Yeah.
because that shit made my stomach drop.
Yeah, it's a thing I outright don't want to say what happens because I feel like being blind to that knowledge is important.
I will say that the I've never tried to be one that's like, well, the marketing for that movie like sold me on something else, but the stuff that they were promoting
it was
for
deceptive.
It Comes at Night was completely deceptive.
Didn't they?
Oh no,
like,
it was deceptive.
Didn't they
I'm fine
frame
with
it like
that,
it was
though.
going to be a monster movie or
So
something?
there's like, do you remember the old man that's like in the middle of It Comes at Night?
Yeah, it's just a guy infected by the disease. or whatever.
So they use him as the monster character that they would put in trailers and like the like online advertising. So like they made him out to be like he was going to be like some bigger like piece of the movie.
I feel like I do remember that. I mean,
Oh no,
one thing I do like about that movie is it's not ever really clear if there is or isn't something horrible out there, which that's part of the big theme of the movie.
Yeah,
just not knowing. Yeah. But no, the last 15 minutes of the movie is like a brutal ride, and there's definitely a moment where I was like, just
oh yeah,
because it's horrible.
If you ever need It Comes at Night explained to you, you should just watch A Quiet Place.
Same shit, but they spoon fade you in that movie. I actually
it's not the same movie.
It's the same movie, but it's better.
Yeah.
I'm being very facetious.
Yeah.
Also, I'm so glad I haven't seen A Quiet Place.
I actually
haven't
the
either.
whole movie.
I was talking to Dakota. I did a double feature a couple nights ago because they were both on Hulu and they were both just accessible without me having to get up because that's the kind of person I am. I watched A Quiet Place and Midnight Meat Train back to back.
What the fuck's that?
Midnight Meat Train?
Yeah, what is it?
It's got Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper stars in it. It is based on a Clive Barker short story.
I thought you were saying it's based off A Quiet Place.
No, and it is directed by the same director that directed Godzilla Final Wars.
Oh man.
Wow.
Oh, what?
Which is crazy because this is not a Japanese movie.
That's the one with Sum 41 in it?
Yes.
And Midnight Meat Train is really good. It's like a well put together movie. But yeah, I watched A Quiet Place and I think I had a better time with A Quiet Place, and I will say this because I think it's relevant to my experience with it. I watched it so far removed from all the dumb media buzz about how great it was. I had none of that in my head anymore. It was just empty. It's not a good movie. It's not great. It's fine. It's completely fine and has a lot of
I don't mean to read over your
problems.
shoulder. What is happening?
That is strange.
I stand by my...
Wait, explain to me.
What do we do? This is a good bit.
really-
This is a really good bit.
This is a really good bit.
Dude, look what Ethan's doing on his phone.
I really-
Why are you on your phone? We're recording.
This is I
I'm
was
a fucking millennial.
I'm the baby.
Ethan, the
everybody.
most millennial.
No, he's
You know
the
what?
Gen
That's all.
Z.
The most
I was
fun.
gonna
I
say,
know.
is he a Zoomer?
No, I'm
He's
millennial.
fucking Zoomer.
Yeah.
I'm millennial, 97.
The most.
You're on the cusp.
I want to point out a millennial
No,
elitist, Claire.
I still-
The most fucked up thing I want to point out right now: phone and book.
Fuck me.
Oh, you think I'm reading a book? Gotcha.
You can't click this guy.
Can't click on my, don't tread on my book.
Don't click on me.
Don't click on me.
The millennial rallying
Just to
cry.
put this cart back on the rails.
Yeah.
The rails.
You were saying something about the witch, blah blah blah. The family element of
I was talking about the religion and how
Yes.
like bleak it is.
So
and how
the family element
just-
of the witch, where like they're discussing sending Thomason away. They're gonna sell her off so that they can
Right.
like survive, and like just like it's I lost it. I had a thought about like the religious aspect of that movie and like the family just sort of like purging like their family members that they didn't want her at like a certain point.
Was it like
because
religion,
they're too
like
suspicious of her, kind of.
They're
like,
too
and they just don't want.
There's that, and the mother specifically says that like you've bewitched my son
Well, yeah.
because she hit puberty.
Yeah. Well, like it like turns. I mean, since we've just like the religious aspect of this family like just is kind of like it turns them like inside out that way.
It's almost scarier than the supernatural stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I don't know. The fact that
because they're all potentially each other's enemy at any time.
Yeah.
If any of them makes even the vaguest mistake, they just become like a pariah, and there's only 5 of them in a cabin
Yeah.
in the middle of
And
nowhere.
it's just generally sad that you're seeing a
That's a
family turn
perfect
against each other.
I really think that, and there's a lot of common themes in a lot of movies we've talked about in this podcast. Mungo, Hereditary, this, Comes at Night.
Fast
is-
Five.
Fast Five.
House of Corpses.
Three from Hell.
Oh,
sorry, I'm
three.
sorry. Keep going.
Meet the Fockers. They all have families. There's something really genuinely sad and scary about watching a family implode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's because it's a very primal fear, because I assume we all had families at one point.
Yes.
We're not pod people.
Well, it's especially when you like stick that
Yeah.
family in such like a contained setting where like when the family is like imploding in like a sort of a contained and claustrophobic sort of setting, like when you don't really like see them kind of venturing outside the family unit very much, either to, like due to like circumstances or like in The Witch where there is nowhere else for them to go, because like if you kind of think about like, because we all have families, there were probably like some time when you were growing up when it's sort of like, you know, whether or not your family did or did not fall apart, there was probably at least one point where it kind of felt like maybe it was gonna, and like at least you had, you know, like and maybe like you could take comfort in having like an outside unit, or like you know, you went to school or you had friends, you had something where you weren't just like, there was like,
I wasn't trying to.
I know sorry, I just like I'm losing it, fuck. It's when you get them in this like the imploding family in this like contained setting where there's like no way to sort of jump off the sinking ship.
There's no vents.
Yeah.
So the pressure just builds and builds and
Yeah,
builds.
yeah, like there's no way for people to kind of, everyone's just going down with the ship.
I think what's scary about that too, and it just kind of spring off what you're saying, is because that is how families implode. It happens in a contained area. You know, you don't go to the park and then your family explodes unless you're like Frank Castle.
Fucking got him.
Frank Castle.
Fuck you, Frank Castle.
I took down the Punisher. What are you gonna do about it?
Do you guys want to know what does keep a family together?
What's that?
What keeps the family together?
The fucking chainsaw. Texas Chainsaw 2 is my real movie, motherfuckers.
Oh,
This ain't the game.
A
Fucking.
twist!
Texas
Can we
Chainsaw
kill
2.
this? Can we just?
No, I wanna.
Do you not like Texas Chainsaw 2?
I'm just doing a bit.
I
Oh
haven't
no, I
seen
was just
any
curious.
Texas
No,
Chainsaws.
You were so upset.
No, I'm not upset at all.
I was just gonna do a bit where I was just gonna be like, "Yo, Ethan, just cut ahead right now."
because so Texas Chainsaw 1, I to a certain degree started the whole slasher genre. And that movie also like isolated farmhouse like family that's sort of like they're completely deranged. They're
Sort of quirky.
They're living amongst human bones.
Yeah.
Eccentric.
And then one of their children wears other people's faces.
Yeah. Just goofy stuff.
But
Depending on the
Texas
situation.
Chainsaw 2 is straight up a comedy.
Really?
Oh yeah.
To the point
I
where
love
yes,
this fucking
the
movie.
poster is a Breakfast Club like parody.
Oh my god.
It's the entire Chainsaw family like sitting like they're in the Breakfast Club poster.
Oh my god.
Two was the last one that Hooper had any involvement with, right?
I believe so.
I think because 3 is like.
Because it's mind blowing to me that Toby Hooper directed Texas Chainsaw 2, because the first one and the second one are so polar opposites that it's like it's got Bill Moseley in it, who plays
Oh yeah, he has like
Chop Top is his character's name, and he's got a metal plate for a head, and he's like obsessed with this radio DJ host, and like they break into this radio station. And he's just in there. He's like constantly like with a wire hanger, just lighting it up on the end, scraping his metal plate on his head, and then picking whatever skin that he gets off of it and eating it. But like it's all in like that Bill Moseley voice. So like,
Oh yeah.
Can you and I specifically talk about the chainsaw sex scene?
the one
what is this?
I forgot about that. I thought you were gonna talk about
Eric's
the
back in.
chainsaw fight.
Oh, the chainsaw fight is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Dennis Hopper is one of the most versatile actors that has ever
He's got like that
graced
big fucking
cinema.
Doesn't he keep like the gallon hat through a lot of that?
Yeah.
Like he keeps the fucking like sheriff hat on like throughout all this wacky
Hey,
bullshit.
Straight up hard cut to the scene where Dennis Hopper's character is just outside a hardware store, just with with the chainsaw, just smashing it into a log.
Okay.
Because he's just trying to see how powerful it is.
Okay, all right, here we go.
It's like not prompted at all. He just walks into a shop, looks at a chainsaw, brings it outside, and just revs it and just smashing it. Not even cutting. Not like, well, okay, so how does this work? Just fucking pummeling that shit into a log. It's the best.
This Blu-ray box art's very good.
Which one?
Just because it really gives you a feel for the movie.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my god! Oh, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
I can see Dennis Hopper with the fucking. Oh, that's good.
I miss Dennis Hopper.
Jesus Christ.
My favorite dynamic of the movie is that Leatherface is sort of getting their own humanity because he like falls in love with a woman that he kidnaps, and his father is basically like, it's either the chainsaw or your little girlfriend.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
He's forced to decide if he's gonna stay with the girl that he's kidnapped or stay with his family.
Oh my god!
There's a whole scene where like she's like backed up into a corner, and it's like the chainsaw is like running up against her legs, and like he is fucking excited, just like he's breathing super heavy, and like I can't remember if it's like played for laughs, kind of.
I don't remember either.
Like,
I don't remember that bit.
That whole scene is so fucking uncomfortable.
Well, yeah.
that it like borders on being funny to me, because
Yeah.
it has to be funny, or else like I'm incredibly disturbed. The last time I watched this movie was like 2 years ago with my mom.
I haven't watched it.
So I don't remember much of it.
I haven't watched it in like 5, maybe 6 years. I
Minutes.
watched
It's
it.
been a long time.
I watched it with RJ in my dorm, I think.
The father is I believe the only returning character from the original movie.
Oh, the returning actor?
Yeah. Returning actor. And I believe we're introduced to him in this one by a chili cook-off contest.
Holy fuck. I want to rewatch this movie. I haven't seen it in so long. It's like...
I'm waiting until Halloween, because that is a like Halloween movie for me.
Fuck.
Um,
I just remember that chainsaw fight. It's like... AJJ actually specifically, like, they reference that scene in a fucking song.
Which song?
I think it's Deathlessness.
Oh, that's one that I don't.
I saw the
like,
chainsaw fight at the water park. There was a chainsaw fight at the water park.
Okay.
That's a reference to Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2.
it's also a Canon film, and like at that point, Canon was making like action movie schlock.
Yeah, that's what I know
like,
them for.
They had like moved out of their like gritty, not necessarily grindhouse movies, but like they had leaned super hard into, these are garbage, but we're gonna put them out anyways. I believe that it was around the time that Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo came out.
Oh my god!
And that's what started their like
their whole thing.
I once did a double feature at it was a little film event. There was a double feature. It was Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo and Cannibal Holocaust.
Oh my god!
And what a polar shift in themes and quality.
Yeah, I would say.
I don't remember who put that together, but it's like, we're gonna watch two movies. They're not related.
Is Cannibal Holocaust like worth it, or is it just fucking garbage? Like,
It's garbage.
What's the deal with it?
It was I feel like the story behind it is more interesting than the movie.
Because I hear how
Yeah.
infamous it is, and
Yeah,
like
I mean,
that's,
there was like a flat out like murder trial at one point because they were
people
like,
thought it was a snuff film.
yeah, they thought it was real, and they brought the director with two charges of that, and he had to produce because he told the actors to just kind of like disappear to make it more real, and he had to like get he's like, no, break character, I'm in like trouble, and they had to, they had to show me like, yo, I'm alive, and they had to show, because there's a scene where a woman's impaled on a pike and it's coming out of her mouth. He actually had to show a breakdown of how that scene was achieved, because it's like it's a perspective shot. It's just like it's just a perspective shot, but you know, it was like the early 70s, and people were like, you killed this woman. It's like, no, that's
Oh, I didn't realize it went that far
Train
back.
came out of the screen too.
yeah.
That train came out of the screen.
When that
I saw that in the
cowboy
1920s.
shows up at the end and he points the gun at me and he pulled the trigger, I cried.
When I saw that baby,
Because I knew I was gonna die.
when I saw the baby come out of the cabbage, I turned to the man next to me and just started screaming and strangling him.
It's a natural reaction.
That's not where babies come from.
It's not.
Could be.
It isn't?
No.
Could be.
No.
Where do they come from?
I've seen them.
God.
I've seen the babies come
Oh,
before.
that makes more sense.
Nah.
I can't tell. It's a secret.
Wait, doesn't God make cabbages?
No.
What?
The fuck is happening?
Stork.
That's the devil.
Storks make cabbages?
Storks are made by the devil, and storks make
Oh.
cabbages.
Yeah, the devil makes lettuce.
Man.
Storks make human beings.
If I could like remember how that whole fucking line goes, this would be like a real good part to make a joke about our parents are having a baby too. They had sex line of the Addams Family, because that's what I was thinking about for Halloween movies. I don't have much to say about it.
We can talk about it.
No, I don't actually have anything to
Yeah.
say. When y'all said, like, think about, like, what your Halloween movies are, like I like horror movies, but when I think, like, getting into the Halloween mood, my vibe is definitely more like 90s live-action Addams Family and,
Like, just goofy and fun.
yeah!
Like I even said, like I'd be stoked if one of you talked about fucking Halloween Town, like the Disney
God.
Channel movie. Like I love that type of
Oh,
Halloween
wait.
too. Like,
You guys remind me of a movie I'm going to talk about. Keep going.
I like genuinely scary shit, but, like, I don't know, like, the Halloween mood for me is always a little bit more, like, kind of harmless and spooky.
yeah.
I like that kind of, like, ooky
I
spooky.
almost like that more for Halloween.
Yeah.
I also love horror movies, as we can,
Right.
you can surmise. But like I'm right with you. With Halloween, I like to watch goofy stuff too.
The two that come right to mind for me are Nightmare Before Christmas, because that's a dual movie that has.
Hell yeah.
I never know when to watch that.
What?
You've never watched it?
No, I never know when it's
Oh,
more
no,
appropriate
when
to
to
watch.
watch
During
it.
Halloween and Christmas.
That's more
Nightmare
of a Christmas movie to me personally.
It varies for
Yeah.
me because I watched it a lot as a kid. I almost wore out my VHS. My sister hates that movie because I made her watch it every week.
When I was in 9th grade, I watched that movie every fucking day.
Oh my God.
Did you go to Hot Topic too?
That's adorable.
Who didn't?
I mean, I still go to
It's
Hot
definitely
Topic.
like one of the things I think about from like my freshman year of high school that like I super cringe at.
We all
Because
have that.
It really tells you the type of person I was in high school.
But the other movie that comes right to my head too is like Beetlejuice.
Ooh, yeah.
Beetlejuice is like right there because it's goofy, but it's like about like a I don't know what Beetlejuice really is, a spirit.
I still need to actually
He's the
see
ghost with
Beetlejuice.
the
He's the ghost with the
most,
most.
There you go.
You know what mine is? Unless you had some more you wanted to rattle off.
No, I mean, like, Coraline's another
Oh.
good one for me. I'm big into that. I also love the book, but like,
Coraline, the movie of
Like,
Coraline has some real
both
creep
good.
factory.
Yeah.
Creep Factory. Welcome to the Creep Factory.
That's our band.
Creep.
Fucking Creep Factory.
Is there a
It
Halloween
has Creep
episode,
Factory,
Creep Factory?
though. I mean, it's like the
Yeah.
button eyes thing is it still is like
Yeah.
I think that like, so like I've been like streaming myself on Twitch reading the book out loud every week, like couple chapters at a time every week. By the time this airs, like I'm already gonna be halfway through. Y'all can't catch up.
Still a
But,
good
like,
plug though.
But I've been like reading it out loud, and like I think that there's like it's interesting because there's some stuff that the book does that the movie doesn't in terms of like spooky factor. Like have y'all seen Coraline?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So like minor spoiler for an animated movie that came out in 2009.
Oh, that's that
Like
old.
towards the end when the other mother's world is kind of like starting to degrade, and like you kind of see the other father like starting to like turn into a pumpkin, right? He does not turn into a pumpkin in the book. He kind of like starts like gradually like she notices earlier that he's like his features are starting to become a little less distinct, like he's kind of like rising like dough. And then there's like a scene towards the end where his sort of like structural integrity as a human shaped thing has completely degraded, and he's just this like pale maggoty thing with only one button eye left, and she has to like to escape him, she has to like yank off his other eye, just like rip. He's like this big like blind maggot thing. She like rips off his other eye, and then he just like screams and lunges at her, and it's horrifying.
Is there an illustration of that?
No,
I wish there was.
Coraline was written by Neil Gaiman, right?
it was, yeah.
That all makes a lot of
Oh, it
sense.
was?
And I mean, like I
Yes.
get why they changed that in the movie, because like
That seems like a thing he'd write.
that as imagery, like I imagine him as this like big like maggoty like this giant bloated grub.
He did American Gods, right?
Yes, he did.
I own Neverwhere, and I haven't read it yet.
Get in on this.
Yeah, come on. We're all touching a cat right now.
I don't know if the camera can see it, but
It looks like we're all like petting Eric's crotch
petting
right
Eric's
now.
pee-pee.
Love wins.
Ethan, could you put a pumpkin in here and post
Yeah.
so that nobody sees what we just did to Eric?
Yeah, totally. You know what? Fucking dumb, random, and surprisingly good. I will defend this. I don't know if anyone else wants to fight me on it.
Go for
Good, stupid Halloween movie I love to watch every year.
What?
Monster House.
Oh, we're on this
featuring Steve Buscemi.
I have not seen that movie since I
It's
saw.
great.
No, I saw it in theaters.
Yeah.
I saw it in theaters. Have not seen it since.
It scared me as a little kid, but then there's this fucking great line with
should have seen this coming.
There's two kids. It's the two kids, and there's a house across the street, and it's a monster,
The house
and
is
it
alive!
eats people.
I remember.
And the house, it's like tongue is a rug and shit. It's awesome.
It's like pretty sweet.
I've
yeah.
actually seen recently like people defending that movie.
I remember it being good.
Real talk, it's like a cute little movie.
Yeah.
I read something
I
recently.
liked
Look,
it.
I'm definitely not shitting on it because I liked it when I saw it, but
Yeah.
like it feels like recently I have seen articles written that are like Monster House was the best and the last good DreamWorks movie
Really?
to come out.
I never even thought. I forgot it was DreamWorks.
I never thought I'd live to see the day when Monster House Thinkpiece started coming
Yeah,
out.
I was Monster House Thinkpiece went into my brain there. There are two jokes that I think about a lot.
Yeah,
from
that's
That's a
Monster
Roswell Kid song title.
Honestly, yeah.
Monster House Thinkpiece.
Monster House Thinkpiece. I love Roswell Kid. My favorite song, one of my favorite Roswell Kid
That's
songs
the
is
name of this episode.
Roswell Kid.
Monster House Thinkpiece, yeah.
Monster House Thinkpiece. My favorite Roswell Kid songs is about when he's picking his nose and then he swipes his phone to answer a text from a girl he likes. He gets a booger all over his fucking phone. Anyway, pop punk everybody. Anyway, two jokes in Monster House is when there's two boys and a girl that are like the kids who's investigating the haunted house or the monster house, and when they first meet the girl, like, they're not friends with her. They meet her, and she comes up to like the bedroom where they're like camped out. And one of the kids, his name is Chowder because he eats a lot.
Chowder.
Yeah, not the cartoon Chowder, very different.
Because they sure do
Rada,
that.
And he's trying to impress her, so when she walks in, he like gets up. He's like, "Yeah, DJ, the game's on," and he turns to her. He's like, "Hey, DJ, you got a beer?" And then he's like, "Oh, hey, what's up, man?" And like he's just trying to impress her by pretending he wanted to drink a beer. This is funny to me, okay? And then there's another bit where they like they try to make the house sick, so it like barfs up all the people it's eaten already. So they make a little scarecrow guy. They make a little scarecrow guy, and they fill it with cough syrup. So Chowder steals like 9 bottles of cough syrup from the pharmacy. And he says, like, "You made me steal drugs for your stupid plan to get the monster house to throw up." Anyway, and the fucking cops come. And there's these 2 cops that are very funny, in my opinion. And one of the cops takes the fucking... He's like, "We're going to confiscate this." And he reaches in and he takes one of the things of cough syrup and chugs it. And then he looks around and makes sure no one's... And he drinks it again. And then he's like, "All right, we're taking this back." And it's like, what the fuck was that doing? What the fuck was this bit doing in the movie?
Lean propaganda.
Yeah, lean before it was cool.
Yeah, I mean, when did that... Because that movie came out in, like, what, 2007, I want to say?
I thought it was like 06 or 05.
It might be 06.
But yeah, Monster House. I once did a double feature. I used to run...
It could be 05.
There was a GameCube game based on Monster House.
Oh, I gotta get my hands on it.
Sure.
Is it $70 now? Like every GameCube game? Anyway.
Yeah, probably.
I think it was 2006.
I think it was $2,000. Monster House, that's what I thought you were going to say. It was kind of funny.
Monster House 2?
Monster House 2 never happened, and only a man can dream.
No, maybe you'll get like a 15 years later fucking sequel like The Incredibles or some shit.
I don't really need that, though. I never even saw that. I never even saw that Incredibles 2, and Incredibles is my favorite
Listen,
Pixar movie.
I did see it. Doesn't matter.
I didn't.
It's like it's not a great move to start your movie with an apology. That's all.
Oh yeah, they did do that.
Yeah, it's like a big move to be like, to have like all of the actors in your animated movie, all the voice actors get like live action on screen to be like, "Really sorry about this one, guys.
Oh no.
You know, we made some mistakes, and here we are now today, and I hope you like this movie."
Pixar just kept releasing movies where they were putting shit before, like making of before the movie.
Yeah.
That was just like really irritating.
I fucking...
Because you're trapped.
What other movies did this?
Coco.
Missed to that one.
Coco was very good.
Coco
Except for the Frida Kahlo shit. That really bugged me.
Oh yeah, that kind of bugged me out. That like
no spoilers.
She shows up. She's a skeleton. She's just like
she's so silly.
Yeah,
she's doing this like weird like quirky thing.
She's so
like,
zany.
It's like, yo, Frida Kahlo like was such an important fucking person.
Eric, her life wasn't suffering. She was silly.
I really wish we got like a zany fucking like flashback to that little day on the bus.
Yeah,
she had a horrific spinal injury her whole life, and
did like a metal pole go through her or some shit?
It like her spine was like ruined on that bus like for the rest of her life. That's like what the broken column paintings
it's
are.
Like, that's like part of like why she painted her body so much is because it was
where the
broken
fuck
and
did
she
this
was
come from?
I don't know. I really like Frida Kahlo, and I'm just like they really did her
but
dirty
in Coco,
this
she's
movie.
just very silly. She's just like Oh, here's my thing. It's just
Outside of that, I love
here's
the movie.
15 random things in a row.
Well, she's
Because I'm
dead.
zany. I do magical realism for no reason.
Well, she's dead now, so she's excited because she doesn't have all these problems.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Monster House. When I ran me and some of our friends, RJ used to do it, and then I took over for him. Oh, and other friends of ours. We ran like the movie night at a club we were in at college. And a double feature I did during Halloween time once was Monster Night, or no, it was House Night. And I did Monster House.
Yes.
I did Monster House and Houseu.
Houseu was that was my backup movie.
Oh yeah,
I was gonna talk about Houseu.
You can talk about Houseu. Houseu's awesome.
Houseu.
Houseu is goofy and stupid, and I really want the Criterion copy of that shit.
I have it.
I feel like
don't
we
get
have
Amazon
had
to
backup
this.
movies.
I have a bunch of movies I want to rattle off.
So you should.
Oh, yeah.
You should do that.
Do it now.
Well, I was gonna say it comes at night, but we already got that taken care of.
As like a
Buddy.
super
Big
quick
buddy.
aside
doing
too, for like our movie selection.
Yeah.
I feel like Halloween 3 came up a lot, but we can't do Halloween 3.
It would take like a
Yes.
million
because
years.
we have way too many opinions about Halloween 3, and it would be a 5-hour episode.
We have to do we have to do a special
They're
episode
all-
Yeah.
At some point there will
Season
be
of
about
special.
Halloween 3.
At some point there will be an.
It's the only movie in the Halloween franchise that I've seen, and I've seen it like 3 times.
I've
Huh.
seen. I can't count. I definitely feel like me and Dakota
Yeah, I
can't
can't
count
count.
the amount of times we've seen this
I've seen
movie.
it in theaters twice. Minimum twice.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 times.
Also,
I
we
know
need
I went
RJ.
with you guys
We
the
love-
one
Yeah.
time.
I
Yeah,
went
we
with them
cosplayed.
I went with
Yeah.
them to see it in theaters a different time.
We actually have a picture of that
We
too.
do.
Of us meeting Tom Atkins.
Yeah, I was
Awesome.
sitting in our seats
Yeah.
because I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
So
Your ass.
I had a couple I wanted to rattle off.
Yeah.
My favorite of all time is this one.
What's that?
No, The Shining.
What's that?
What?
It's a little unknown movie.
Wow, poser.
It's this guy named Stanley
Who the fuck's Stephen King?
Kubrick.
It was
And Stephen King.
That's the one.
That
It's a
sounds like
made-for-TV
a-
movie on Sci-Fi Channel, right?
Yeah, Dr. Sleep.
Yeah, Doctor Sleep. You're talking about.
Yeah.
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 Dr. Dog shit.
Doctor. I can't believe that.
Whoa.
Movie. I didn't realize it was already a book until that movie was.
Oh
coming out.
wait. Speaking of
Hey, it's
Stephen
me,
King,
Dr. Dog Shit.
Stephen King. Hot take: the movie Carrie fucking sucks. I don't know if that's a hot take or not because none of these guys will tell me.
I don't know.
Because they don't
Oh
know.
yeah, viewers out there, don't answer her.
I've
Yeah.
never
Like,
seen
hot take,
Carrie.
it's a bad movie. I don't know if other people think that or not. I wish it was good. The premise could have been good, but it sucks.
If you've seen Carrie, leave a comment that says I don't know.
What does it say that already hasn't like been said? I mean, I don't know. It's because we've been talking about movies that people don't know about, so I'm not going to harp too long on The Shining. But
It's not
it's
necessarily. It's just
movies we like. Well, with The Shining, because
I still haven't seen The Shining.
that is my all-time favorite movie.
It is-
like The Shining is.
I just like I've
it's
like
so
read
good.
shit about like how miserable Shelley Duvall was on set
Yeah.
and how she was
Oh,
like
yeah.
and how
Stanley
she was,
Kubrick was a piece of
bitch
shit.
to
like
her.
long-term traumatized, and I feel
Totally
like
not
that
saying
might make it a
Kubrick is a good
difficult
person.
difficult
Oh, no.
movie to watch. I feel like, but I mean, I might watch it someday.
That's
I just,
that's fair.
I
but
just like
He
woof,
was very
like,
bad to his actors. He got results.
The Shining.
Well,
Well,
you know what
you got-
results he can get? He can suck my dick.
Then there's
Oh,
also
he's dead,
like,
so.
Results.
people like is it William Friedkin who directed The Exorcist?
Yeah, I did The
He's,
Exorcist
like,
and The French Connection.
Notorious for like, okay, slaps whoever's on screen like hard action.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
like fucking okay, you're on set.
Jesus.
Slaps him across the face. We're rolling.
yeah. He
Like,
yeah.
dude, fucking filmmaking and any filmmaking before the year 2000 sounds like a
It's pretty
total
fucked up,
nightmare.
pretty nightmarish. Yeah, The Shining was. Stanley Kubrick was like he got me into film pretty much. Like,
Yeah.
because like he was the first like director where I was like, oh shit, I want to watch all the movies like this guy made, and it got me into the concept of directing and like so like you know yeah he's like kind of a shit to his actors, but like his movies have like had a huge impact on me. And The
Yeah, I'm
Shining
not like
is
trying to derail it or anything.
no, that's fine, that's fine. So The Shining is, and that's like a valid reason to be like weird about watching it, so I get it.
Yeah,
but
no, totally.
no, The Shining is my favorite movie by him because like all of his movies like you can like analyze the shit out of them and stuff, and like there's always these hidden meanings. It's fun to like come up with like you know find like symbolism and stuff and all this deep lore and shit. The Shining has like the most of that I find interesting.
Well, yeah, it's pretty on the nose that it's about him faking the moon landing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Apollo, what's he got? An Apollo sweater, right?
Yeah, he's got the
sweater.
He's got the Apollo 11 sweater on.
Yeah,
and then also
everybody's
like,
like, whoa,
it's so
fuck!
stupid because like I really don't want to give into like dumbass conspiracy.
No. Only when it's 1 a.m. and I'm
Conspiracies.
going down a YouTube hole.
But
You're
like
talking about the conspiracy that we actually landed on the moon, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that was
that's what The Shining. That's why The Shining is so cool, because Stanley Kubrick is like, no, see, that shit didn't happen, and I'm here to tell you why.
Yeah.
Like there's like the picture of like the launch site and everything. If you look at the way the toys that Danny's playing with, like on the
are they
carpet,
arranged?
They're arranged like identically.
Wait, real talk. Did he deliberately do that to throw people off? Like, because people were talking shit about.
He's a fucking insane person.
Oh
who
no!
Abused his actress.
No, he shot the thing with
I don't know what he did.
The infamous the blood coming out of the elevator. He did that 70 times.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Oh yeah, he did it 70 times because he kept saying it doesn't look like blood.
There's a documentary
like, well,
called Kubrick's Boxes. I want to say that is.
Give that to 15-year-old Ethan, he'd fucking flip his lip.
It sort of goes into the making of Eyes Wide Shut, and that like that movie was in production hell for so long because he was just sending people out to take pictures of doorsteps.
Really? I didn't know this.
So because of like. You're shaking your head, yes. Like, do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, I'm looking for a validation.
No.
He's very agreeable.
I'll believe it though, because like filming 2001, particularly like I was like a foreigner. Well, I guess all of them, but like I hear a lot of that shit. Like as far as like, oh, he's taking forever to shoot it. Was like The Shining, Clockwork Orange, Barry Lyndon, 2001. Those are the ones that I always like hear talked about. I didn't know Eyes Wide Shut had this shit.
Barry Lyndon was because he had to like make a whole new camera
to
fucking film that
fucking
movie.
love Barry Lyndon. Not a horror movie, just a boring one. But but boring shit that I love. I loved that 3 hour, 8 minute fucking slog.
It's a period piece that is lit entirely through candles.
It's a period piece like about nothing.
Yeah.
But I love it so much.
But
The Shining has like so many cool shit with like analyzing it. Like I would read articles and watch like a YouTube analysis. Like that sounded fucking funny, YouTube, but like video analysis. So yeah, I watched CinemaSins about it. No, and analyses about like there's a whole spatial awareness thing in The Shining where because it's like there's the outside of the hotel, that's a real place, obviously, but the inside is all sets. It's deliberately arranged to not make sense. The doors,
the office that he has that initial interview in, like if you were to follow like the floor plans of the hotel and everything, his office would not have an outside window.
Yeah, but there's a window right. You see
directly
like light
behind
coming in.
him.
There's a lot of shots that actually really creeped me out when I found out when I like started to analyze. I read about him, watched stuff about him. Like there's the tracking shot in the beginning when Jack and what's the wife's actual name in the not Shelley Duvall's character. Shelley Duvall's character. The whatever. Wendy. Yeah, it's been like a while since I've actually watched it, but I've seen it like Wendy. But I've seen it like 10. I've seen it like a fucking 100 times. So like anyway, the tracking shot where the director of like the place is showing them around the hotel, and it's going through the big living room where there's like the big giant windows to outside, and then when they cut into like the next hallway where I think the elevator is, there's a hallway that's cutting into where the windows should be, like where the windows should be leading to, and there's people. It's not like it's just like a random room. There are people walking from where the windows are. That doesn't make sense. Like you would have seen them in the windows, but there's like busy people. It's like a hallway that goes into nothing, essentially.
Do you know what else doesn't make sense in that movie?
A lot.
There's a scene where he goes into the bar and there's supposed to be no one there, and then there's people in the bar.
Dude, I almost didn't catch that.
I still don't know what was going on.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Dude.
I don't know how they fucked up that.
Dude,
bad.
they fucked that shit up.
There's that picture. What's the deal with that?
So
they like didn't get their timeline right at all with that picture.
They
like
screwed it up. Like it's not the past.
It's not the past. It's 1980.
It's the present, 1980.
What a goof.
Here's my favorite part of
how could he always been there?
I thought Stanley Kubrick was supposed to be detail oriented.
Yeah,
how do you fuck that up?
I mean, his best movie was
Must
AI,
have smoking
so.
weed.
Oh my god,
really gets to me because
Gigolo Joe.
that final photo that they show of like the party and everything. I think if you count in to how many people there are, no matter how you count it, he is always the 11th person in the photo, and then he's got a note in his hand that he's covering with his thumb, and there's someone reaching behind him as if to grab the note from his hand, and that was supposed to be Kubrick's way of like, I directed the moon landing, and there are people trying to stop me from telling you.
That's
You're actually like, your mind is blown.
That's fucking the galaxy brain moment, guys. We had an epic galaxy brain moment just now.
It's apparently 237,000 miles from the Earth to the moon.
Okay.
So that's where you get room 237 from.
I've never actually looked into the conspiracy theories, so this is legitimately interesting. Even though I don't believe it.
They're so funny.
They're crazy. Well, because what is it? In 2001, the one that made me kind of like it freaked me out when I was 15, but now I'm like, shut the fuck up. Was there's a shot in 2001 where they're doing the board meeting, but when they're talking about the Jupiter mission going awry. Oh no, they're talking about talking about like excavating the monolith on the moon. Anyway, the guy who's leading that meeting passes the American flag and it blows. Like it flaps a little bit, and everyone's like, "Dude, that's the moon landing!" And like that's it, and there's nothing else. And it's like, what the fuck?
They say that Kubrick got to make the moon landing because of 2001, because that movie came out
68.
68, so it was the year before we actually went.
Yeah, filmed in 66. I think.
I'm just saying that I feel like we're putting a lot of.
Oh no!
What?
The music shut off.
Yep,
that's fine.
All right. The government shut us down for talking about how the moon landing was fake.
We got gunned down, and we are actually all homunculi that the government replaced us with.
YouTube has deplatformed us for these for the truth that we're laying down. So write to YouTube and let them know that they shouldn't censor us like that.
Yeah.
So
fuck us, swear words.
Power to the content creator. All that.
Rise up. Yeah, good movie. Well, real quick, because we gotta wrap it up. Other horror movies check out. You check out Creep 1 and 2. First one's a really good found footage horror movie, and it's just pretty straightforward, but it's very good. It's very tense. And the second one is actually not a horror movie; it's a deconstruction of it, and that's really fun. Spud just did a noise over there.
She's just climbing around.
She's doing her thing. She's doing her bit. And you and me and RJ and Paul 2 years ago saw The Killing of a Sacred Deer. Remember that? Yorgos Lanthimos?
I haven't seen it. I actually really want to.
You were there.
Were you there then?
No, I haven't.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
I was traumatized in the beginning.
I've seen part of a Yorgos Lanthimos movie, and that's a story for another
It was
time.
It was me, you, RJ, and Paul.
I for some reason feel like there were more people there, but yeah.
We sat in the middle of the theater with no one else, and it is. How would you describe? It's like. It's scary because everything is kind of unsettling, and not just like the visuals and shit, but because it's like a family drama with like a murder or something, and it gets really complicated. But
an uncomfortable movie about a family sounds like Yorgos Lanthimos.
Yeah, I mean, like a little boy put. Well, he's a little boy. He's like 12.
Little boy.
A 12-year-old. He puts like
he's a mid-90s kid.
Yeah.
It's Sonny Soljic.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh cool. Well, anyway, which kid in mid-90s?
God of War kid.
Atreus?
Yes.
He's not the one who puts a curse on them, though.
No, I can't.
Oh, but that guy is in it, though. That kid's great. He's great in mid-90s, and he's great in God of War.
The guy you're thinking of.
There's a 12-year-old kid who puts like a supernatural curse on a family, and they have to deal with it. And is he 12?
No, he's like 18.
He's not 18. He's like 15. We're meeting in the middle.
I'm gonna say he's 5.
I mean, you've hit like your 20s, and now 18-year-olds are basically 12.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, and it's really scary because all of like the dialogue is uncomfortable. Like everything is like deliberately forced, and that's like where the horror comes from.
Yorgos Lanthimos.
Yeah. Well, like. I felt that way about like the Lobster and shit too, but something about
not in the Lobster.
Did he make the Lobster?
Yeah, he made the Lobster.
Yeah, okay, never mind. I have seen it.
No, I haven't. Those are the only 2 Yorgos movies I've seen. So I wanted to see The Favorite, but I missed that one.
I don't think I've. The Favorite is like his most straightforward.
Okay, I should go back to like what's it called, Dogtooth?
Oh my god! Okay, I'll tell that story sometime about how I saw part of Dogtooth.
Well, I had another one. There's a Korean movie called The Wailing that's pretty fucked up because it's about like you don't know what side. There's like multiple sides to take, and the movie thinks you think, oh, this is the bad side, this is the good side, but it legitimately makes you question that the whole time. And it's very fucking intense, and it's like 2.5 hours, and it's really good. Let's end it on your story about Dogtooth, if you wanna.
All right, not for this episode.
Not for this episode. Okay.
Yo, I got one more recommendation.
One more recommendation. Go.
Wish Upon.
Yeah.
Masterwork, masterpiece, perfect film.
Check out your boy Uncle Scrungus.
Check out Uncle Scrungus. Check out the multiverse.
My Cool Dad.
You dig
check
on
out
multiverse?
the cool. Yeah, you dig on multiverses. check out it asks the question of what if you could wish your dad cooler?
That's my favorite
What would that
part
be
of
like?
that whole movie.
What if your dad?
Oh yeah! Oh my god! I forgot about
If your
that.
dad played the saxophone and all your friends wanted to bone.
That's
him?
what this. I was gonna point that out if no one else did.
I wish my dad was cool.
I wish my dad was
So
cooler.
he stopped garbage picking and plays the saxophone.
Yeah.
At
and
that
all,
point-
all the teenage girls want to fuck
My
him.
friends want to. I wish my friends wanted to fuck my dad.
At that,
You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram. I think one of those is probably better kept than the other. My bad, everyone.
This is found footage.
But yeah, so this sort of wraps up our Halloween special.
Can I move your hand?
I've been RJ.
Yes, I have also been RJ.
I've been RJ.
I'm RJ, and
This has been RJ goes to take Manhattan away from you.
RJ goes to camp.
RJ goes to camp.
Fuck!
Flogna and
RJX.
can we call him?
Oh yo! Additional plug for the social media is we're doing a group Halloween costume and we're gonna put pictures of it on the Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah. You just gotta tell me when to post stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
the pictures won't be here. Never mind.
We'll send you
Yeah.
a bomb, and it
We're all-
says
Whoa!
Yeah,
Viewers, don't check your mail for the next week or two.
What are we doing?
Just kidding,
It'll
check
blow
it.
up if you don't put it on Twitter.
I'm gonna leave now.
Don't throw the kitty.
Stay.
I wish I had a lavalier mic so I could just be like,
I'm mad.
I'm mad and
You're
pissed.
a Langolier.
"Fuck you."
Can you move the camera?
Good night, everyone.